Minds filled creatively, moving forward constantly. Motivate, facilitate, collaborate. Made Fresh Collective. I don't know, Made Fresh is like a lot of things. It's a lifestyle. It's a bunch of crazy rowdy kids just having a good time. It's a bunch of artists, it's a bunch of skateboarders, it's a bunch of vandals, it's a bunch of kids trying to find themselves, and it's more of like a movement.
My dad's an artist, so I grew up in a creative household where art and being creative was always really encouraged, and I think high school was another spot where I got more into art because I would doodle during class, and so that's when I think I started to decide that I really like doing art. That's when I started screen printing, doing graffiti. Actually, I started doing graffiti first, and then I got caught a few times. Graffiti, oh, I love it. I think originally maybe was that it was against the rules. There's something really appealing about things that you're not supposed to do. Now I don't do it because I don't want to have to deal with that. The law is a waste of your time. You don't want to get wrapped up in it. So I still like to paint big things and murals and whatnot, but not illegally. Ceramics has taken the place of my urge to tag and leave my mark, because ceramics is like my new form of graffiti, only it's much more permanent. Graffiti is like the youth art. It's the art of the youth and young people. And I think it's really important to catch that and capture that time on the ceramics. That's my duty as a ceramicist on this planet. And then maybe someday somebody will dig it up.
For me, it started out when I was about 19 and my dad died. And I went to art therapy, and that's when I really got into it, and it helped me because it was like art therapy for kids, for mourning or whatever. It's really important for me at the time, because I was just depressed and losing it and unhappy, and creating things made me happy. Yeah, the monkey came out of a combination of growing up loving monkeys, always just thinking they're fascinating, and then also it just really came down to having these little trinkets from all over the world that my dad always had, and they were these see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil monkeys, and the concept is to not let those evils come over you. Don't speak it, don't let it affect you. And when I felt those hard feelings of those really deep, painful, sad feelings, I wanted to create these little monkeys to surround me and protect me. It's like a comfort it's like comfort food for my soul. It's for my eyes to feast on. The grassroots of MFC all start with Awake Lifestyle, and that was me and Ben Ferris. And I kind of jumped on Ben's bandwagon and was like, well, this kid's definitely going somewhere because he's amazing, and I want to do anything I can to help him.
I was always telling Ben and Taylor, or mostly Ben at the time, yo man, like, you gotta screen print your own shirts, like, this is so fun, like, I'll show you how to do it, you see me do it all the time, like, let's do this. You know, he had all these paintings with these animals on them, and I kept on telling him, dude, you gotta get the animals, like, you can get that onto a screen, I know it. And so once that happened, then it just went crazy.
Once we had the 4-color press, we just started going off 5 screens, and we were just printing t-shirts and on a table, really limited. We only had like a couple designs. Once the studio was built, it just opened up this whole new realm because we had this space to come hang out. That's just what happened. It was just a bunch of guys, bunch of best friends sitting together, having a good time, and just printing like crazy.
When you're like an artist and creative and like doing your thing, it's really easy to get holed up and like become a hermit. And it's cool when you have a place like Taylor's studio and the means and the group to have like a big kind of creative melting pot. It's driving, you know. You see your buddy bust out a new design and print 50 t-shirts. In turn, it like motivates you to be like, oh, yeah, well, I gotta get on it too.
It's like a tribe of close, you know, binded people who want to support and help that person and see them succeed.
Well, that's a crazy face. Because you'd be like, hey, I want to do that. Did you do that?
Yeah. Our mission statement is to create in kids self-efficacy. It's the idea that once you succeed, you'll keep succeeding because you have that feeling of, oh, I've done something good and I can keep doing things. So it's self-confidence, self-efficacy. We hope to support students in a more holistic way. So we're trying to create a space in a community where they can explore themselves creatively and learn about things that they may be passionate about that they hadn't thought about before. The non-traditional tactics that Made Fresh especially promotes is something that's really important to me because I love art in general. I love all kinds of art, but like a 15-year-old doesn't necessarily respond in the same way to classical art. So the fact that they can relate to airbrushing, it's a lot more urban, it's a lot more youthful. They're able to kind of express themselves and consider something to be art that they might not have considered to be art before.
Make stencils and paint my clothes.
I don't even know.
That's what I do. Yeah, she's into like those little like intricate drawings. I'm into like big picture, like, you know?
We can provide classes to teach kids just to have fun and just to explore and create and, you know, use your head and move forward constantly. That's really what helped kind of opened the door to like getting the kids respect. You know, that's what it came down to. It was like once they respected us and they saw that we were really having a good time with them and trying to show them like just to make t-shirts and make prints for themselves, you know, and they could do this at home if they wanted, and that this is not a bad thing, you know. Like, yeah, like don't go tag on stuff, don't go like tag on people's shit, like you don't go be a vandal, that's not cool. Go draw on your sketchbook and get really good and practice. You know, go paint in your room on a canvas and make it look as cool as you can, you know. That's where you're going to gain something. I want to have a space, a huge space where, you know, we have your silk screening shop, you have your ceramic studio, you have your glass blowing studio. You have a painting room, you know, you have a dark room for photographers, you have a skate park for skateboarders, you have a coffee shop, an education center for kids to learn all these trades. You have your art therapy. It's more of like a vehicle for kids to succeed and have a good time and network with those same like conscious-minded people. It's kind of like my dream, you know, my dream utopia is like a place where everyone's has a good time and we can all feel free to create and do what we want and have an awesome time doing it together as one, collaborating with each other, learning all these different tools and keys and getting to create something that you never could have imagined.
And it's hilarious the way we let aesthetics embarrass us, so carelessly prepared to compare yourself to America. Fair enough, it's American beauty that keeps staring up, that feeling in your stomach, concealing you grin and bear it. This nation of distracted reactionary explorers put hooks in the mouth so the rest of us to raise the corners. And so much effort on the part of our employers, but happiness doesn't come with flags, freedom, or borders. It's not an abstraction of literary theory, it's seemingly haphazardous, bitter, and yet endearing. It's succeeding when others out of fear said you would fail. It's getting off scot-free, volunteering for jail. If doing the right thing is only a selfish act, you put good into this world, good feelings will hit you back. Shit, laugh at yourself when nobody is around, not to shelter your embarrassment, but prove that you are proud. Pride is only a sin if it's holier than thou. How art thy nature if the tree don't make a sound? Down to the last drop, we think that it's our age. Are we really given happiness or simply entertained? Words written in cursive like letters, and to our friends we see the seed of sadness and happiness makes amends. Lens that'll direction, it's a charity to them. Bend down, may I have another, given all the trends. We pack it up and then present it as zen, and then pretend like we